Hey everybody, and welcome back to Tenza Motorsports. This is the crappy shed that was here when my wife and I purchased our house, and we're going to be removing this and building a new custom one. I've talked about this on the channel for a while. We've got all the stuff out of this shed. We actually have a built-in shed that's attached to the house, which is kind of nice, but that's where we're going to have like all the gardening and the fertilizers and things like that, maybe even the mower. This right here will be mostly for storage and some channel stuff, but the welder and the air compressor and stuff out here, so I don't have to have share that space with the garage. And yeah, so right now I believe this shed is like a 9x9 or something like that, and it's just these cheap ones you can get from like Home Depot. I don't know how tall this is. It's like 5 foot 8 inches at the peak, and it's just not big enough. The neighbor's crabapple tree has been dropping crab apples on it and rusting the roof out, so it's just time to get rid of it. And we're going to be putting in a wood one, a nice size one that actually fits the concrete pad. That's another thing that's really nice about this, is we already have a concrete pad. So if I remember right, this is like 9 and a bit by almost 14 feet, which is really good. That means that we can build a shed that fits the pad a little bit better. So we're thinking something like a 8x12. 8x12 is going to be nice because we don't have a lot of cutting to do. We can buy 8-foot pieces, we can buy 12-foot pieces. These entries, there's one over there as well, but I'll put the door here. A lot of sheds, people put the door on this side, where, you know, if you've got your eave going this way, they'll put the door on this side. But as you can see here, we've got a garden box, which I lovingly built, didn't I? Yes. So this setup is going to be an eave this way, like that, and then the door on the side, and nothing super complicated. Today we're going to be tearing it down. We started already pulling it apart, and I thought, you know what, if I'm going to be doing a video on this, probably better time lapse us pulling this shed down. It's not even worth giving it away. I thought about posting it and just being like, hey, come pick it up, but honestly, with the roof the way it is, I don't even think it's worth that. You can see all the holes. Some of those are screw holes, but like over here, lots of holes, and it's just not worth saving. We did try to buy an Amazon shed, the ones that are like a little bit taller. Basically they start at this height and then go up, but when I got the shed, it was so beat up I couldn't even use it, so I ended up sending it back. They tried to get me to keep it, offered a rebate or a refund, and I was like, honestly, for free I wouldn't even keep that shed. It was pretty bad. Not saying that you can't do an Amazon shed, but for our purposes here, I think a nice custom one that would fit is going to serve us a lot better. All right, here is the shed. There was some PVC pipe. Somebody had left a bunch of it back behind the shed, and there was a lot of leaves and compost and crap behind the shed just from, you know, it getting stuff behind it, not being able to get cleaned out because it was so close to the fence. So there it is. It's actually kind of a small little package there. I understand why that one I got from Amazon only showed up in 2 small boxes, because it's essentially a shed like this. It just was a little bit nicer, but it got beat up in shipping. Probably wouldn't have looked too much different than this. So there's the pad. The pad isn't as level as we were hoping. Let's go over here real quick and I'll show you kind of what I'm talking about. So right here you can see there's about an inch drop right there. So this is down, and then the other thing is that tree is pushing up the concrete there in the back. So not sure if we're just going to shim the shed and maybe figure out what to do with the tree. If we did that, then the other thing we need to do is get some material out of this. See if we can't drop the level of all these rocks and dirt, and then that way it's not getting up onto the concrete. The proper way to do it would be to pull the tree and then level the concrete, but that's kind of a big job. So not quite sure what we're doing yet, but I'll find out here in a couple weeks, but you'll find out here in just a few minutes. Now, I'm not going to do a ton of voiceover on this video, kind of just wanted to show what we're doing here, but it was all hands on deck. You'll see in-laws, grandparents, aunts and uncles over helping us out throughout the time lapse. And yeah, we just were trying to get it done really quickly, and that's why I didn't do a lot of recording during, other than just time lapsing. The whole thing is put on a set of skids. That way, if we wanted to forklift it out of the backyard, we could at some point. But yeah, platform, walls, roof, shingles, nothing too crazy. So I'll let you enjoy the rest of this, and then I'll show it off when it's all done. All right, so here's the shed all done. I am kind of far away from it right now because, of course, as soon as I start recording, it gets windy outside, and I can never seem to get rid of wind noise on my videos. Anyways, here it is all done. We did bare paint. This is a black evergreen and a bakery box white, and I think it looks absolutely fantastic. We do still need to push the shed up to the fence the rest of the way. Let's go inside where it's a little less windy, and I'll show you what the inside of it looks like. So here we are inside the shed. I'm gonna be putting some more foam up in here, just to make sure we don't get any more weather in the shed. We have floor paint. This is exterior floor paint for like patios and things like that, but I thought, you know, if it's good enough for a patio, I want it to be tough, so it should be good enough for the inside of a shed. Much taller than what I thought it was going to be, just because, I mean, like, I knew it was gonna be tall, 8 foot, but I didn't realize how tall it was really gonna be. So we did 8 foot because then we didn't have to cut as many studs, you know, so we just leave them full length. And I'll show you real quick. I am on my tippy toes. I can't quite touch the roof. So it is a very tall shed. Eventually I'd like to finish the inside. I'll insulate this, mostly because I won't really use the storage that's in between the studs. I mean, I guess you could put like things, you know, lean things up against the walls, but I just, with the shed being the size that it is, I'm not really losing much by framing it in, boxing it in the rest of the way, getting some insulation here, and then maybe kind of being able to temperature control what's going on here. Eventually at some point, it sounds like we'll put a window here. My wife's got a garden box just outside, so it looked kind of cute, and she put some flowers on it, maybe one of those little like little flower pot things that hang underneath the window, something like that. We thought about doing a window on this side here, but we've got the door swinging into it, so the door I think swings into about here, which means that the window wouldn't be centered on this wall, it would be kind of offset. So probably won't do anything on this side. I don't want to look that way into the fence, and I don't want to look that way into the fence, so it would be nice to have some natural light in here with that window. And then the air compressors will sit out here. That way I don't have to listen to them in the garage. I'll run the air out to the garage. I'll run electricity into here, and not electricity to do a lot of stuff, mostly just like, you know, charging phones, running like belt sander, maybe some lights, things like that, just little stuff, nothing be super crazy. I'm not trying to like outfit this like a shop, just a shed that I can do a little bit of bench work on. I'm gonna try to do some more metal working out here, and that way, you know, you get metal shavings like stuck in the soles of your shoes, and as you walk out, the grass itself will clean it off, versus if I do stuff metal working in the garage, you just bring it right back inside. And so I definitely want to try to avoid doing that. I'll store my welder out here and a bunch of other stuff. I'm hoping that this frees up the garage, because that would be fantastic. I don't have a ton of room in my garage, but if I could clean out the rest of what's in there, bring it out here, that would it would be a game changer. Just kind of want to go over like the total cost of this real quick before I let everybody go. I'm in this shed right now about 2,000 bucks. Now, obviously you don't have to paint the floor. We did double flooring. So we did, we've got boards this way, and then now we've got boards this way. Did a double flooring, you don't have to do that. We trimmed out the door. You don't have to trim out the door. You don't have to paint the outside of the shed. I mean, it was already primered. You could just leave it, I guess. But there were a few things that we did extra. But as of right now, we're in the shed right now about $2,000. It's pretty good, because if you bought one, it'd be shorter than this. It's difficult to get the door on the side. Everybody wants the door on this side where the eave peaks on this side. So I was able to put the door where I wanted it to. I was able to get a taller shed. I was able to make a couple things custom the way I wanted them to. And it cost probably about $1,000 less than a pre-built shed. I think a pre-built shed's between $2,500 to $3,500. And that doesn't include, you know, it being painted and some other things. So I would have, if we bought one, we would have had to do some of this stuff anyway. So really appreciate it. Let me know what everybody thinks, and we'll see all of you in the next video.
Bam!